Today we're making a heart without a magic ring. This is an updated tutorial for a video I made over 3 years ago. It's the same pattern but slower and much clearer. You can use any yarn you want. I'll be using Red Heart Super Saver in Retro Stripe. This is a medium weight yarn. I'll also be using a 5.5mm hook, some scissors, and a yarn needle. To start, we're going to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, place the yarn over your hand with the tail end at the bottom. Hold the yarn with your thumb, then wrap the top around 2 fingers to form an X. Then hook it around your pinky. Insert your hook under one side of the X, then over and grab the other side and pull it through. Remove your fingers and tighten the knot. Now we're going to chain 5. To chain, yarn over and pull through. There's our first chain. Again, yarn over and pull through. Then we'll do that 3 more times for a total of 5 chains in our foundation chain. And we're going to do 3 double crochets into the 3rd chain from the hook. Here's the first chain from the hook, the second, and the 3rd. To do double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the V of the 3rd chain from the hook, and make sure you go under the loop in the back as well. Then yarn over, pull through. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through just 2 loops, then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Then we'll do another one into that same space. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into that same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we'll do 1 more into that same space. Now we should have 3 double crochets into this chain. Now we'll move on to the next chain and we'll do a single crochet. To do a single crochet, insert your hook into the next chain, and you don't have to worry about going under the back loop of the V anymore. Then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. Then we'll move on to the last chain and do a slip stitch. So go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. Now we have the first half of our heart. To work the second half of the heart, we're going to work along the underside of the foundation chain. So we're going to rotate it like this, and we'll work into the same 3 spaces, and we'll mirror the stitches we just did. And while we do this half of the heart, we'll carry our tail end so we don't have to weave it in later. First is the slip stitch. So we'll go into the same space we just went into and do another slip stitch. Again, insert your hook into that same space, then make sure the loose end goes over, not under your hook, so we can carry it across. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. Next is a single crochet. Insert your hook into the next space. Make sure the loose end is over your hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. Then we'll do our 3 double crochets into the last space. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next space. Again, make sure your loose end is carried over your hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we'll do 2 more double crochets into this same space. Finally, we'll make a curve at the top of the heart by chaining 2 and slip stitching to the same space with our double crochets. And we'll pull it tight. Now we can cut our yarn, and it doesn't have to be long. Then pull through with your hook and tighten the knot. Then we can cut the other end that we carried across. And finally, we'll weave in the loose end we just fastened off. So thread it into your yarn needle. And you can see that this is the front of the heart because you can see these V's around the edges. We'll flip it over and weave along the back side. And we're going to go under the stitches and down through the middle of the heart. And we can turn it to make sure that our needle didn't poke through to the other side. And we'll pull the yarn through. And if we tug on that loose end, it helps to shape the heart. And we can snip off the rest of that loose end and help shape our heart. And it's finished. And just a tip, if you want a bunch of different color hearts but don't want to buy a bunch of yarn, get a multicolored yarn and cut up the colors like I did. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.